Okay. So this guy says that how the freaking we can connect roto 14 with the pre-multiplied soldier A transparent PNG file. So let's see.
You can keep in mind is like the overlay can be sort of from a different layer. But right now it's not doing anything because you can see that these nodes are not connected.
Okay. Yeah, these nodes are not connected.
And so how do we connect these nodes? If I view this and hit A, we do have an alpha, but we want to cut this out by this.
Okay.
So all we do is we create a merge node by hitting M.
Okay.
And we can say A.
Alfa'yı buna taktı. Ha, alfa bundan gelecek. O yüzden merge'e alfa'yı taktı.
Over
B7 bu.
B, but we don't want it to be an over because we don't want
Alfa bunun üstüne binsin demek istiyor. Over herhalde.
to merge something over.
Okay.
We want to mask it. So if we switch this to mask,
Operation mask.
you'll see that this roto alpha is now masking the layer.
Okay.
That
Biz onu zaten hani yaptıydık burada. İşte. Tertemiz. Şu birinci. Şunu bir kes. Şunu 1'e takalım. Evet. Burada gördüğünüz gibi. Nice. Q. Yes. Şimdi 2 diyelim. Mesela buna neden alfası gitmiş? Bir dakika. Şimdi dur. Bir dakika. Dur. Buna bağlanması lazım. Temiz görüntü. Bu da roto. Şöyle rotomuz bu. Alpha channel'ı buna verdik. Bir saniye. Alpha channel'ını buna verdik. Sonra maskayı ayarladık. Çok güzel. Sonra buradaki resmimiz bu hale dönüştü. Gördüğünüz gibi chat. Nice.
that's being connected with here. So we have that result, and if we merge it over A over B, we have the result that we're expecting. So that's the difference between After Effects, is just that the nodes are kind of separated. And this is actually pretty useful because you can say, what's cool about it is you can mask different layers because it's a tree. So you can do another merge node, and you could say, we could take that roto and we can mask the background and we can switch.
Oh, aynı rotoyu alıp şeyi de maskeleyebiliyormuşuz. Chat diye diğer arka planı da maskeleyebiliyormuşuz. Bayağı iyi bir şeymiş. Bakalım hemen. Diyelim ki 2. 2'deyiz şu an. 2 temiz. Ama ben bunu mesela bir saniye şöyle alalım. Şunu 1'e tak. Şöyle olsun. Siz de şöyle bir gelin. Mesela bundaki alfa. Şimdi nasıl olacak? Bu mask demekmiş. Bu da background. Mesela şu alfayı yok, bu değil. Bu da değil. O zaman şu. Oh, hata verdi. Neden? Non-existent channel used for mask. Yani BG mi takacağız? Mesela 2 diyelim. 2 dedik. Overlay on. Nasıl bağlamış bakalım tekrar. Bir merge nodu ile bağlamış. Bir merge nodu ile bağlamış. Sen şöyle bir gel. Bir merge nodu ile bağlamış bulunuyor. Sen de şöyle bir gel hocam. Tamamdır. Şöyle bir tane merge. Alfa'yı bundan alacak. Ve background'ımız da bu olacak. Ondan sonra bu da 2 olsun. Tabii bu şu an over'da, yani alfa over yapıyor. Over değil. Bize şöyle temizleyelim tekrar. Bize mask lazım. Mask nerede? Ha. Okay. Aynı maskeyi aynı maskeyi Background için de kullanabiliyoruz. Peki ben gitsem bir tane daha merge eklesem. Şu resim üstü olacak. Şu da onun üstünde. 3 olsun. Hmm, güzel. Şimdi bir tık daha oturmaya başladı. İşler karışıyor ama hani bir tık daha güzel oturmaya başladı şimdi. Güzel, güzel, nice, nice. Ninja, ninja. So, okay. This is cool. But I don't need this for now. So I'm just gonna go with 2. Background is this. It's so cool, bro. Yeah, so cool.
merge node, and you could say we could take that roto and we can mask the background, and we can switch it to mask, right? And so you can see how that could start to be interesting when you have many layers. And it might not click yet, but when you start dealing with 10, 20, 30 layers, it's really useful to have things displayed in a tree like this. Another thing, I just did it, but you can press space to full screen different areas if you're pointing over, if you just want to see everything.
Space. Bir dakika, space bayağı işime yarayacak bir tuş. Bakalım. Oo. Pardon. Güzel. Peki bunları tek de görüntüleyebileceğim bir tuş. Noda fokuslanma tuşu yok mu ya? Bir dakika. ChatGPT'ye soralım hemen. Yok, ikisi de nodlardan birine odaklanmak için kısa yol tuşu. H tuşu seçili nodu tam ekran görüntülemesi. Bakalım hemen. Olmuyor. Olmadı, bir dakika o zaman. Yok, olmuyor ChatGPT. Ya, bir dakika. Nuke X. How to focus on the node. Focusing on a specific node can be achieved in different ways. So simply click the node. This will highlight the node and get it. Tamam. Şimdi connect the node. Press on 1, 2. This will highlight. Zoom. You can scroll here. No. Frame the node. Oh, okay. Fair. Bakalım. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Cool. That is what I am talking about. Okay. I figured this out. Alright. That's cool. Okay. Thank you.
Laid out. You can also hit space on this area and hit F to just get it bigger. So those are just some extra shortcut keys there. I'm going to delete this now because we don't need it, but that's just...
Ben de şunu bırakayım ya. Bir tanesini bırakayım. Ama güzel bir örnek bu, hani rotoyla. 2 taneden fazla 10-20 tane maske yapabiliyoruz aynı rotoyla. After Effects'te olsa o maskeyi ona kopyala, o maskeyi ona kopyala. Ondan sonra onun üstüne binecek falan filan. Burada chat tek bir roto. Tek bir rotodan chat tertemiz. Güzel. Şimdi şunları düzenleyelim mi? Bir saniye. Düzensiz şu an bayağı ortam. Şimdi sen orada bir dur, tamam mı? Viewer notları da kapalı dursun. Okay. Tamam. Siz de şurada merge'li durun. Yani duru koysunlar şimdilik. Yapacak bir şey yok. Label'layabiliyor muyuz acaba? Neyse. Şu bir. Mesela label nasıl yapabiliyoruz? Label yok. Notes. Sticky notes. Güzel. type a note here. Büyütebiliyor muyuz? Bookmark. Neyse. Bunları hani connect these to Viewer. Okay, tamamdır. Bunları başka nasıl yapabiliriz? Canvas yok. Note. Okay. Neyse onu sonra öğretecek herhalde. Şurada dursun. Tamamdır. Yani duracak artık, yapacak bir şey yok. Şimdi biz gelelim şuraya tekrar. Şöyle. Bunları nasıl kopyalıyoruz? Bir dakika, nuke'de hemen duplicate nasıl oluyor ki? Kısa bir tutorial var mı bakalım. Nukes. Nuke not. Aynen, tamamdır. How to duplicate nodes, bro. How to duplicate nodes in Nuke. That's insane. Huh.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
So according to industry experts, you should never use the clone option because later on in your production, the actual nuke files will get corrupt. So don't use them. Instead, take two similar nodes and connect them via a reference of expression, such as holding control on this little squiggly line and moving it over here, dropping it, and now whatever you change here, it changes there.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Neyse, tamam, hadi aç. Okay. Şimdi temiz bir yere gelelim şöyle. Viewer nodumuzla chat. Tamamdır, ikisi şu an birleştiler. Okay. Pre-multiplied our image. And we are merging with the over operation. Okay.
Just how you can apply a rotoshape really quickly on a layer that has an alpha already. So just to mention some other things real quick, if you wanted to do the opposite, we'll just do it real quick anyways. So I'll just create a roto node, and I'm just going to do a stencil instead of a mask. So operation set to stencil, and then the same thing. So if we click around, it would just stencil it out. So that's just useful to know. That's kind of how you would invert it, and that's a useful thing to see. Otherwise, you
really
can,
cool actually. Let me just
if you wanted to do a stencil instead of a mask, just do it real quick anyways. So I'll just create a roto node, and I'm just going to do a stencil instead of a mask. So
stencil. So what does it mean, stencil? Şablon. After Effects'te yapınca içine istediğini koyabiliyordun. Peki burada yapınca peki niye öyle oluyor? Hani? Niye? Niye? Anlatabiliyor niye? Tamam, buraya bir roto. Tamamdır. Sana şöyle. Sana merge node. Alfa şuna bağlanacak. Bunu da stencil. Yani ne oldu şimdi? Stencil. Onion interaction. What is going on? Stencil orayı siliyor yani bildiğin. Stencil direkt sildi. Şablon. Yani normalde içine koyması gerekiyordu diye biliyorum.
Instead of a mask, so operation set to stencil, and then the same thing. So if we click around, it would just stencil it out. So that's just useful to know. That's kind of, and then the same thing. So if we click around, it would just.
Şimdi mesela rota çizerken adam illa kapatmadı. Güzel bir yöntem. Mesela ben bu şeyi nasıl silebilirim? Delete ha. M'ye bastım, yok olmaz. V'ye basacağız, tamamdır. Tamam. Şöyle bir şey. Enter'la oluyormuş, güzel. Enter ile oluyor. Bu da feather'mış, tamam. Hani şu an stencil olarak kullanıyor hani bunu. Stencil yerine bu ne? A-top. Whoa, what is this? I don't know what the hell is going on. Color burn. Color dodge. Don't even know what that means. Don't even know what that means. Color dodge. Conjoint over. Copy. Difference. Disjoint over. Divide. Exclusion. Form. By the way, let me just set my timer to a proper time for a break. Geometric. Hard light. High pot. In mask. Zaten bu mask diyeceği belli. Math. Max. Min. Minus. Ooh, what is this? Multiply. Okay. Out. Ooh. That's kind of cool, but I don't know. Over. Okay, overlay. I don't know what that means. Plus. Okay, screen. Alright, soft lights. Okay. Stencil. So stencil is deleting the image itself. So let's just, yeah. I'm just gonna look for the After Effects stencil mask for the comparison. After Effects stencil mask.
New shape layer, fill. Shape layer, choose Stencil Alpha.
Stencil Alpha.
With this quick method, you can independently animate the
Yani değişik bir şey, hani After Effects'teki stencil Alpha'nın inverted versiyonu oluyor hani. Siliyor bildiğin stencil. Okay.
Stencil it out. So that's just useful to know. That's kind of how you would invert it, and that's a useful thing to see. Otherwise, you could have it set to mask, and you could use an invert node. So you could hit tab and type invert. I wouldn't do it that way, but just to know that that node is there.
Hani After Effects'teki versiyonu çevirmek için de hani rotoyu invert edebilirsin diye bakalım hemen. Yani aynı şey oldu hani. Mesela şunu gel buraya kopyala yapıştır hani. Alpha channel olarak. Bir de bunu ver. Şöyle alfa 2 olarak dursun. Hani şunu devre dışı, bunu devre dışı bırak. Şu an ne oldu? Hani sildi. Ama ben bunu gelip buradan mask yaparsam, hatta direkt bunu alfa bile bağlasın. Şöyle bir saniye. Direkt mask'le aynı şey oluyor hani. Şöyle bakalım tekrar. Hani mask'le aynı şey anlamına geliyor diye tahmin ediyorum şu anda. Bir dakika. Bir şurada olacak. Evet. Yani mesela şöyle baktığımızda hani bir dakika bakalım hemen. Şöyle bakarsak şuna 2 diye. Şöyle 2. Hani bu ve bu yani aynı anlama geliyor. Yani tabii. Yani şunu devre dışı bıraktığımızda diyorum hani. Şu 1, şurada 2 olsun. Şu 1, 2. Bakın ikisiyle geçiş yapıyorum. İkisi de aynı anlama geliyor. Ama invert'i devre dışı bırakırsak tabii ki devre dışı kalıyor. Şimdilik simple devam edelim. Bunları kapat. Şunu etkinleştirelim. Buradan alfa channel'ımızı alacağız. Invert'i önermezmiş ama yani işte yani. Sonra 2'ye gerek yok. Hatta direkt 2'ye hiç verme. Elle niye bağlıyoruz? Şöyle 1 yapalım ha. Yani şu an mask'te ben bunu gelip buradan stencil yaptığım zaman çat. Mesela tabii. Şöyle oluyor hani. Maskelemiş oluyoruz.
Is pretty useful. One other thing, and just to, I know I'm going fast, but there's a lot of things to cover. So if we wanted to make this roto node have
Why the frick my camera is like böyle sanki. Daha değişik duruyor. Why is that happening? Alright, okay, let's see. Why is that happening? Happe. I don't care though. Yeah, I don't care. Let's just continue. Okay. It's kind of boring. It's fine.
color in it, because right now it only has an alpha, right? It says roto and it says alpha. And one thing to know is if you want to know what's coming out of a node, you can look at these little colorful boxes here.
Yeah. This node gives us a white output, as I see. This is giving us RGB, and this is giving us alpha again. This is A. Yeah, this is giving RGBA. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So this one has red, green, and blue, and an alpha. So we have the colors of the image and the alpha, the little white box. But we see here it's only giving us a white box. So how could we, if we wanted this to just be a solid, like we want to create a solid in After Effects, we go here, we do new solid.
Tamam. Mesela bu solid olsun, tamam mı? Ne olacak? Mesela şöyle gelip O diyelim. Bunda 2 diyelim mesela hani. Şöyle bir solidimiz olsun. Hani. Output alfa demiş. Ben RGBA olsun istiyorum. Color olarak da şöyle mavi. Full mavi olsun böyle. Şöyle mavi. Tamamdır. Hani şu an bu bildiğin hani şey olmadı mı? After Effects'teki math hani After Effects'teki math. Hani o oldu bence diye düşünüyorum. Yani bakalım adam ne yapacak.
And we would pull this over and then we would just select the color and we'd have a solid here, but it doesn't have an alpha. So we would go here and kind of mask it out. Like that's how we would create this red block over this image. If we wanted to do the same thing, we need to give this some colors. So if we switch the roto node, instead of just outputting alpha, we just switch it to RGB and A. So it'll give us colors and an alpha. And so if we switch that, you'll see now that in our red, green, blue channels, if we hit RG and B, you'll see that white is there.
Yeah.
And we can give it some color. So we
Burada zaten az önce alfaydı ve sadece alfa output'u veriyordu. RGBA'de red, green, blue and alpha output veriyor. Mesela red channel'a gidelim şu an. Bakalım 2'de miyiz? Tamamdır, 2'deyiz. Red channel'a gittik, bir şey yok. Green'e gittik, var gibi. Blue'ya gittik, tabii ki. Blue'da olur. Mesela buradan Blue'yu kapatırsak Blue channel gitti. Yani Blue'yu göremeyiz. Şuradan tekrar şu an Blue'dayız. RGB'ye çekelim. Bir de alfa'ya çekelim. Gördüğünüz gibi alfa channel'da yerinde duruyormuş. Güzel. Yani. Nice.
We can go over to our shape by clicking it. So we click the layer first, and then we go to the shape tab, and then we can just adjust the colors that is coming.
Yani benim yaptığım şuradaki renk değilmiş. Ya da o da olabilir ama bakalım. Shape, color. Şöyle değiştirelim biz de. Mesela full red olsun. Şöyle full red. Bunu nasıl kontrol ediyoruz? Şimdi şöyle. Tam red oldu. Full kontrol. Şu color picker. Güzel herhalde değil mi? Color picker, evet. Şu da hue saturation. Kırmızıyı azalt. Şöyle blue kapatalım. Alpha channel bile buradan değiştirebiliyoruz. Buradan değiştirdiğimizde direkt roto mask'ini de etkiliyor yani. Ben burada mesela mavi yapmıştım. Şu an mesela mavi, yani direkt buradan değiştiriliyormuş. Yani canım istediği zaman buradan çat diye şöyle yeşil bir maske oluyor. Evet, nice. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Coming out of this. And if we were to merge this now, so we click it, hit M, A over B, now we can see that that is being merged over. So you see it's a little bit semi-transparent because in our shape.
Semi-transparent olma sebebine bakalım. Çünkü burada alfa channel'ı 0.8 ayarlamışsın hani. Tabi birazcık alfa olacak.
I did affect the alpha, so we have red, green, blue, and then alpha is at 0.81, so that means it's going to be a little bit transparent. So if I were to want that solid,
direkt alfalığını bile oradan şey yapabilirsin. Alfalığını bile kontrol edebilirsin.
I would just push that up so it's complete.
Yeah, okay. So let's test this out. Okay. So these are the previous notes. I'm gonna make a backup of all of these again, just like this. And I'm just gonna delete the previous ones. I'm gonna plug this in here. Alpha is gonna be that one, and the background is gonna be this one right here. And I'm gonna need my Weaver node here. Let me just plug my Weaver node here. Yeah, this is our mask. So when I set this to mask, yeah, it's gonna mask out this part. So what should we do here? Like go to the shape panel. Actually, I'm just gonna change this to over because this is going to be a solid layer. Okay, shape. Let me just try to change the alpha of this. Oh, okay. But why is mine look like shit? Bro's got the freaking alpha, bro. What the hell? Alright, what am I doing wrong here? It's over. Like, I didn't change anything. So let's see. RGBA. Okay. And our shape is here. I don't know what the hell is this. Anyways, let's just change the color to like blue or something. And I'm gonna decrease. Oh, okay. Alright, so my bro got the blue only. And I just set this to blue. Yeah, okay. So this is what's gonna happen. What is going to happen? Okay.
So that means it's going to be a little bit transparent. So if I were to want that solid, I would just push that up so it's completely solid. So that's just why.
Completely solid olması için alfayı full ediyor. Ben de kırmızı istiyorum. Blue ile yeşili kapat. Tamam.
When you start to look at these nodes, you'll see all of these things as this RGBA or just alpha. And so again, remembering to always think of these things different, like in Photoshop. If we just think of the color and the alpha as something that's separate, we can control them separately, and that's going to help us a lot. So to further emphasize that example, we could blur this by hitting B on our keyboard.
Şimdi Solid'in blur atması lazım ya.
And then we could blur just that specific element, and then it's being merged over. And so wherever you're placing these effects it's only going to affect the nodes that are before it. So let's just delete all of it.
Tabii yani buraya mesela gelip yani blur node eklediğimizde şöyle her zaman öncekileri etkiliyor hani. Önce ne varsa burada blur node onu etkiliyor. Şöyle blurlayalım hatta bir şekilde. Yani tabii. Kapat aç. Kapat aç. Yani tabii.
This and do it again. So if we wanted to blur just the background, we could put a blur node, and then we put it in between these nodes that are connecting, and we would just blur it like this.
That's cool. I'm just gonna change my background to like this one right here. B input, and I'm gonna take this one to here. Oh, okay. Now background is blurry. Now it's not. Now blurry. Now it's not. Okay. I'm just gonna say it like 25 or something.
We wanted to just blur the guy, so you can hit delete and delete it.
Okay.
Put a blur node here, and we'll just blur the guy like this. And we are only blurring our guy. If we want to blur them together, we put it after those nodes, and we just blur it together. And so that's how we can construct our image and how the tree and the order of things matters.
Yeah.
So now that we saw how the order of things matter, what is it compared to After Effects and the pre-comp workflow?
Yani tabii After Effects'teki şu pre-comp workflow'undan nefret ediyorum abi. İstediğin mesela bir şey değiştireceksin. 5 tane kompozisyon içine girmen lazım falan hani. Bakalım burada diyor hani Nuke'da bir tek daha böyle şey hani nasıl diyeyim basics. Basic de değil de ya işte neyse ne. Hani bakacağız. Blur, Roto. And I'm just gonna copy all of these again. So here. Because we are in a different part of the video right now. So let's just delete this and delete this one. And delete this viewer. And connect this to the viewer. Okay. So turn off the properties panel for all of them. All right, let's watch.
So in After Effects, if we wanted to blur these layers together, I mean, there would be two ways to do it. You could use an adjustment layer. I'll just delete this. You could use an adjustment layer to affect everything, which, you know, we don't need to do it in Nuke because you saw that if I want to do everything, I just put it after. But
Tabii yani. Aynen öyle.
The other way to do it would be to merge things together and make them like a pre-comp. So I'm going to
pre-comp yapınca erişimin
take
zorlaşıyor.
these two things. I'm going to bring in this mist here. I'm going to put it over our image. So I'm just going to drag it in. And I'm just going to scale it down. I'm not going to make it transparent or anything. I'm just going to put these two layers together. So if you wanted to blur the guy and the smoke together, normally what you have to do is you select those two layers by hitting shift and you would go to layer and you would pre-compose it. So you pre-comp those two together and now we would apply the effect to that layer because they're now merged together. So we could say, if we go here, we could put a Gaussian blur and then we would drag it to our pre-comp and then we would just blur the pre-comp. So you see these are blurring together. Now in Nuke, we don't need to actually pre-comp anything.
Hiçbir şeyi pre-comp yapmamıza gerek yokmuş Nuke'da.
We can do renders and pre-comping layers. We don't need to talk about it necessarily in this case. But if we bring in a smoke element here, so I'll go here, I'll grab our mist, I'll drag it in, and then we will merge them together just like how we did in After Effects. So you see one thing real quick. You'll see that it is a JPEG, so there's no alpha. So it's going to get a little bit confused here real quick. You'll see that it is a JPEG, so there's no alpha. So it's going to...
JPEG olduğu zaman içinde transparency layer bulunmuyor. Sadece gördüğünüz gibi RGB
get a little
channel
bit
veriyor.
confused here, so you'll watch. So we'll take
Yani alfa
this,
channel
we'll
yok.
merge it over, and you'll see that it comes in like semi-transparent, right? It's kind of like a plus. Whereas here, you see when we merge it over, it's the black square. So what we want to do to
İşte yani ne oldu burada? Hani ben de anlamadım. Peki bunda alfa channel yokken nasıl yerleşti buna? Bir dakika. Şimdi kafa gitti bir saniye. Ben şimdi bunu aldım, tamam mı? Bu arka plan mesela burada dururken şöyle bir merge ile bunu birleştirdim. Şuna göster. Ama bunu göster dersem alfa channel yok. RGB. Şimdi bunu gösteriyor. Ama ve lakin bunu mergeleyince siyahlık gitti. Ama After Effects'te gitmedi. What the hell is happening right now?
so you'll watch. So we'll take this and we'll merge
Burada alfa channel olmadığı halde beyaz bir şey. Bu nasıl böyle blend oldu anlamadım şimdi bir dakika. Merge over ne yapıyor? A channels, B channels.
it over, and you'll see
Şöyle birleştirmiş hatta. Aynen öyle.
that it comes in like semi-transparent, right? It's kind of like a plus. Whereas here, you see when we merge it over, it's the black square. So what we want to do to just make it solid, because it doesn't have an alpha, it doesn't know what should be solid and what shouldn't be.
Okay.
So that's the thing with Nuke that, again, beginners will be a little bit tripped up on. It's just
Aynen zaten hani beginners böyle bir trip to diyor. Hani böyle kafaları böyle allak bullak olacak diyor. Bunu gördüklerinde diyor. Aynen öyle.
like you have to think of the alpha separately. So if it doesn't have
Hani ne?
beginners will be a little bit tripped up on. It's just like you have to think of the alpha separately. So
Alfa'yı tabii separate olarak düşüneceğiz. Hani
it doesn't have an alpha. We just want to give it one. So to give it a solid alpha, just so that this will be black and this will be white, like how it is, we want to do a shuffle node. So we type shuffle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little white button here. So without having to explain this whole shuffle node, this isn't really necessary for beginners. Again, don't get overwhelmed. It actually is really easy, but
çok fazla diyor overwhelms. Kafa yormayın buna diyor. Tekrar bir anlamını kontrol edelim. Overwhelmed. Yani bunalmayın diyor. Bu zaten kolay bir şey diyor.
all we need to do is if we press that little white button and we hit A, you'll see that there's a solid alpha now. And when you merge it over, it's going to block the other image, kind of like how we...
So yani burada biz alfayı sildik mi yoksa ne yaptık?
to do is if there's again here, so shuffle, and then there's a button here. So hit this little white button here. So
Tamam.
without having to explain this whole shuffle node, this isn't really necessary for beginners.
Tamam.
Again, don't get over really easy, but all we need to do is if we press that little white button and we hit A,
Bir
the little white button and we hit if we press that little white button and we hit A,
Tamam.
you'll see that there's a solid alpha now. And
Şimdi tekrar bir checkleyelim. Buraya bir shuffle node'a ekledi de. Tamam. Şu bir de geldi buraya şuna bastı. Ne diyor bir dakika şimdi burada? Set the selected output channel to either full black or full white. Full black or full white. Şu anda full black. Bir dakika aynen şu an full black. Şu an full white. Tamam. Bir tık karmaşık ama hani Nuke bunu nasıl ayırdı ben onu anlamıyorum. Hani otomatik After Effects'te hani screen modunda mı aldı buraya koydu? Hani tek o şu an aklımda soru olarak kaldı. Hani otomatik screen modunda alıyor yani. Hani burada başka bir açıklama göremiyorum ben. Şu an mesela burada siyahlıkları çıkmıyor. Evet. Siyahlıklar çıkmıyor yani. O yüzden bir shuffle node kullanıyoruz. Yes. Shuffle'ı görüntüle dersek, hatta şöyle dursun. İlk önce bunu görüntülemeye bas. Shuffle channel. Merge otomatik bağlanıyor. Alfa 2 olarak. Daha sonra biz de burada shuffle'ı full white yaptık. Full black, full white. Oo, şimdi anladım. Tamamdır. Şu an full black. Şu an full white. That's cool. Yeah, okay.
And when you merge it over, it's going to block the other image, kind of like how we would expect. So the other thing we want to do is we want to scale this down so we can do the same as what we did in After Effects. So we kind of scaled it down and put it next to the guy. So how we can scale images in Nuke is to create a transform node. So we'll hit After and hit T on the keyboard or type transform.
Okay.
And then we could just scale it down. So you'll have the controls for the node if it's double clicked, and you have Q. So your overlay is on. We have our little transform controls. In After Effects we can just click the different layers and scale them. But in Nuke we got to double click the node that we want to control here. So I'm going to put it here and next to the guy like this. And so we don't need to pre-comp these layers now. It's already done. If we wanted to blur these layers together, we just put the blur between these nodes here. So we put the blur here.
Hemen ve bunu blurlayacak.
We just blur, and you see that those two layers are being blurred together.
Tamam, mesela After Effects'teki yine buraya transform nodunu koyabiliyoruz. Ve kontrollerimiz duruyor. Scale'ımız burada. Şöyle kontrol ediyoruz. Şöyle koyduk mesela. Bu 1'de olsun. Sen orada dur. Şu an burada ben bakayım, tekrar kaçırdım, ne var. Şöyle.
Blur here, and then we just blur, and you see that those two layers are being blurred.
Okay. Transform
together. So just the order of our nodes.
Tamam, yani şu anda tamam, bir saniye. Şu an buradan bir pre-multiplied resme geldi. Burada bir image, buna full white alfa verdik. Transform 2 ile buraya geldi. Tamamdır, ara vereceğiz. Sonra pre-multiplied ile o ikisini birleştirdik. Ondan sonra arka plan olarak da bunu görüntüledik. Tamamdır. Yani şu an ben gelip buraya bir blur node eklediğim zaman chat bu ikisini blurluyor ve diğer arka plan tertemiz, blursuz kalıyor. Nice.
And the way we design this tree is going to be essentially, it's sort of like a logic of the way things are flowing, and the effects are always in between where the merges are. So one other thing to mention is if you do put a transform node after an image that doesn't have an alpha, it will actually automatically create an alpha as well. So you see that the little white thing is appearing. So if we merge it over, it will do the same result. So if I merge it over, hit Q, take the scale it down a little bit, it is doing that effect. And if I disable that, you see that's transparent. So that's, again, just like a little quirk of Nuke that when you're starting out, you're like, well, if I just merge it over, why is it semi-transparent? But if I scale it down, then suddenly it becomes solid. It's just adding an alpha there because it thinks that you're probably trying to merge an image over another image. So that's why I explained it with the shuffle node first and then the transform. But you actually don't need the shuffle node. You can just do it and it's going to automatically create it. So if you ever see a problem where it's like doing stuff that you don't expect, you probably don't have an alpha. That's probably what's happening. So just keep that in mind.
Yani semi-transparent bir image geldiğinde ne yapılacak? Ya transform nodu eklenecek hani bir şekilde, ya da shuffle nodunu full white bir shuffle nodu ekleyip full white buradan gördüğünüz full white bir şey vereceğiz. Math vereceğiz ona.
So I want to go over a few merge operations that are present in After Effects that you might be familiar with. So if I just go over into our project and I bring in our mist again, You might be familiar if you hit F4, you can switch between these modes here, and then these are all your kind of blending operations similar to Photoshop. And so add is going to make it kind of, add over the top. We could do a multiply. We could do a screen. There's different ones that we can do here. Multiply would be another big one, so you get this type of effect. It's the same in Nuke with our merge operations, so it's gonna that knowledge is really going to transfer over if you're familiar. So if we do a merge node and we do A over B at the beginning, and we switch it to plus, right now it's not going to do anything because again it doesn't have an alpha. But if it had an alpha, so let's give it an alpha by hitting transform, and we'll move it around a little bit. So if it's set to over and it has an alpha, it's just going to be like a merge like we just saw. But if we switch it to plus, it's going to be that kind of that transparency result where it's adding over the top. And then multiply, it's going to sort of cut through like this. So you can see the same effect that we just saw in After Effects. If we want to sort of merge like we just saw, but if we switch it to plus, it's going to be that kind of that transparency result where it's adding over the top.
After Effects'teki add noduna dönüşüyor imiş. Okay. Tamamdır. Sonra plus yani evet, üstüne ekleme deniyor. Bunu kapatırsak bir dakika. Şunu kapat. Okay. Şöyle koyduğumuzda tamamdır. Hani bu plus. Bir dakika, add bir de multiply var. Multiply. Why the heck is mine not working, bro? Why the heck is mine not working? Maybe it's because of the pre-multiply. Let me just set this to plus. Oh, okay. So if I bring this here. Oh, okay. So this is adding operation in After Effects, and this is the multiply.
If we switch it to plus, it's just going to be like a merge like we just saw.
Wait a second, bro. I'm gonna need a break. I'm just gonna need a break, bro. Just freaking 5 minutes. Because I'm like freaking missed the part. So let me just think again. So this is gonna be over. Okay. And this is the merge 10, and let me just select plus. Okay, plus is adding. Okay, I got that.
But if we switch it to plus, it's going to be that kind of that transparency result where it's adding over the top. And then multiply, it's going to sort of cut through like this.
So the problem is it's directly connecting. I think this is a connection error. It's B and this is A. But this is the same thing. Yeah, this is the same thing. But why mine is not working like in the video? I multiplied it and it's not working.
This, so you can see the same.
Oh my god. Why the heck is that? Cause this is not working, bro. Why the freaking heck is this not working? Why the heck is this not working? Why the heck? Why the heck is this not working? So this is the layer. This is the transform. I'm just gonna. What is this? On your antennas like that. Okay, just disable it. Delete this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and enter a merge node here. This is the alpha, this is the background. And I'm just gonna set this like this. And set the merge 10 to plus. And let's set this to multiply. Now it's working. I don't know why the previous one didn't work though. Yeah. Did you guys see that? Like the previous one, why is that didn't work? Like if I add a shuffle node here, let's just add it here. Full alpha. It is working now. I don't know why it didn't work. Let me just add a pre-mult here and disable it. And I'm gonna add another merge node here. And this is gonna be like on top of it. Let me just select this. Okay, so when I move this, it is gonna be alright. This is the rotation. This is the scale. But this is not the scale I want. So where is it? It's right here. Okay. Wait. Why the scale is like Fujikut? Why the scale is Fujikut? So if I set this and this, there's nothing that much changing. And yeah, okay.
Same effect that we just saw in After Effects. If we want to compare color correction in After Effects versus Nuke, I'm going to do a grade node. So I'm going to hit G on my keyboard, or you can hit the same effect that we just saw in After Effects. If we want to compare color correction in After Effects versus Nuke, I'm going to do a grade node. So I'm going to hit G on my keyboard, or you can hit tab and type grade. So this is the most common grade node. The other one that you might be kind of familiar with if you're coming from After Effects is the curve tool, but it's called color lookup. So if you type the color lookup and you plug this in and you click on the master right here, you'll recognize this curve probably if you're coming from Photoshop and stuff like that. The grade node does the same thing. It's just in a different way. It's actually faster. I actually prefer this versus using a color lookup all the time. Most people, once you use this, you're not going to actually want to go back and have to use a curve every single time, because you can do the majority with basically these two sliders, the gain and the gamma. That's what you're going to use the most often. So if we just use the grade node, I'll plug it in, and I'm just going to gamma down a tiny bit, and you'll see that we're adding contrast overall to the scene. And if we were to go in After Effects and try the same thing, let's create an adjustment layer. So we do it to everything. So we'll create an adjustment layer, and then we'll just do a curve. We'll plug it in, and we'll just pull down the center here, and you see we're adding contrast. So it's the same thing. We can adjust the white point here, so we can grab the top corner, we can push it over. And if you want to adjust sort of like this in Nuke, you can do the same. So let's bring the gamma back up, and we can push up like this, and that's going to brighten like that. So if we wanted to do that in After Effects, let's bring that back up, and then I'll just get rid of the center point here actually. So we'll just create a new curve, and then we would just pull up towards the top, and you see that that's visually the same. So we're doing a gain, and that's how that effect is happening. So on that curve, we're just doing it in a different way. So gain, gamma, that's a very common S curve. So what you're doing is you're adding contrast and you're bringing up the highlights. So in After Effects, you might be familiar with doing that. So you would bring it up like this, and then you pull it down like this. And that's why it's called an S curve, because it's creating something that looks like an S, but it gives you that sort of film grade that is very common. So
film grade. Alright, so let's just copy all of this, paste this. Let me just clean up the mess. Merge node 1. Okay. And this is the merge node. No, it's... I don't want that. Oh, what the hell? What did I just create? Oh, this looks cool. Just gonna save this one. Overlay. Plus ile over. Bu kategoride aynı oluyor büyük ihtimal. Screen büyük ihtimal ya. Screen font. Olmayabilir. O yüzden stencil. Ben olduğu yerde koyma diye. Okay. So this thing is screen. This is much more cooler right now. So let's take a look at the video again. My guy played with the grade node or something like that. So I'm just gonna go with the over. And just gonna go ahead and pre-multiply this one. And by the way, this needs to be alpha. Not alpha, sorry about that. This is the alpha, this is the background, and this is the final merge. Alright, so if I add a grade node on top of this, actually let me just close all of this. Gain up, just like here. Gain down. It's like the same thing in here probably. Yeah, this is gain. This is gamma probably. Yeah, it's doing the same thing. Okay. It's doing the same thing. Let me just add a gain a little bit. And gamma a little bit. Yeah, I think that's cool. Previous, before, after, before, after, before, after. That's cool. Alright. So let's just take a look at the curves, the S curve.
You can push it too far. It's a little bit too far for this shot, but that's just to know what we're doing. So it's good to know though that a gamma is in the sort of in the center of the curve, and the multiply is when not when we have the second point here, but when we pull up this point here. That's kind of what we're doing. Now, if we want to go further and we want to adjust different colors, we can put a new grade node here. I'll just delete the old one, and I'll hit the little color wheel. We can split it into the colors, and we can adjust the colors this way. So if we want to take red out of the image, we can do that.
So if we select the red left, the image is going to be redless.
If we want to take green out of the image, we want to take blue out. And so that's the same thing as going into your curves here and going to your different...
This is so freaking long.
Curves here and going to your different color channels and basically just manipulating those
It's the same thing.
there. So you can do the same thing. The other way you can do it, I don't really do it this way, but you could disable these and then just start pulling down. Like you just...
Oh, so channels RGB. So I can just, like, you know, can just do this probably. Gain. I just need the blue. I'm just gonna disable the red and green. I'm just gonna gain down on the blue. Okay, like this. And if I activate the other ones, is it gonna affect? Yeah, I think we need like more than one great node.
Affect only the red channel, for example. So you could gamma down only in the red channel. I don't typically work like that, but you can get some interesting effects by just disabling the color channels. I prefer to just work with the color wheels with all the channels enabled for the most part. But that's pretty much it for the basic color correction, and we can continue on. So
Okay. Pick whip versus transform. Let me just finish this section.
We can continue
and we're gonna take a break, guys.
on. So one last thing I'm going to mention is node cloning. And so if you're familiar with the pick whip in After Effects, that's something that might confuse you if you're transitioning over and you want to make things move together and you're not exactly sure how to do that if they're on different layers. So let's say we have a mist and we bring it in here. And let's say we want these two to move together, but we don't want to pre-comp them together for some reason. Like maybe there's just a reason we want to do that and we're moving this guy around. We want that to move with it. We would go here and we would grab the pick whip, and we would drag it to our guy and then they'll move together. And so there is a way to do that in Nuke. So you can drag it to our guy and then they'll move together.
The mist is parent to the soldier. Yeah, this is the same.
And so there is a way to do that in Nuke. So you can create a transform node and merge this over. Again, so we have an alpha and we can scale down and we'll put it behind and then we'll view when they're merged over. So how could we get those two layers to have a relationship to each other? What you can actually do is create another transform node, and you can stack transform nodes like this. And what we want to do is press Alt K. It would be Option K on Mac if you're doing it on Mac. And you'll see this little orange line between the two nodes here. We can drag it and put it on the other layer. So it means that these are basically doing the same transform. So if we double click that, make sure that we're doing the right layer here. Because if we still have this one open, you might get confused. So make sure the last one that you double clicked will be the one that's being controlled in your sort of viewer here. So I'm going to close the other one just so it's not confusing. And if we double click it and we move it, you'll see that both layers move together now. So these nodes are a clone.
Oh, Alt K, okay. Alt K, Alt K. Alright. So I'm just gonna import a transform node here. And this transform node is gonna make the image a little smaller. And I'm gonna add a mist right here. And this is gonna be the alpha, and this is gonna be the background again. And the great node needs to be here. What does it add? I don't care. So let's just try to do something with it. So okay. So when we add the transform here, we scale down the soldier. So if I add another transform here and press Alt K on the keyboard, and this is the new transform right here, and I would like to, like when I'm transforming this, like right here. Wait a second, transform 4. Actually, let's just not get confused. So when I drag this in here, the smoke, the mist doesn't follow it. So if I wait a second, yeah, if I put this over here, yeah, unlike over here, yeah. Let me just disable this one. If I put the second Alt K, I mean the Alt K, the parented, the pick wicked transform. Whenever I am transforming this, the mist is going to follow it. Okay. So that is the way. But the first things first, I gotta make sure that this is connecting here. Is it blue? Actually no, I don't want the background, just the alpha channel, and the background is gonna be connected to here, and the transform is gonna come over here. And let me just see, where is my image? Okay, so it's gonna clean out the page. I'm gonna delete this one and this one, and select this. By the way, I think I'm doing something wrong. So like, I think I'm adding this in the wrong place. That's kind of bad, bro. Oh my god. It's so long to process at this point. So if I plug this in here and this to here, yeah, it worked. Okay. And if I go to this side right here, if I change this, oh, what the hell? Why am I not seeing this in real freaking time, bro? I don't get it, bro. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why the controls are fricked? Like, fricked, bro. Controls are freaking bad. Anyways, and let's just add another transform here and clean our properties panel and click Alt K shortcut, and let's just merge it in here. So whenever I move this, let me just show you. Whenever I move this, wait a second, this shouldn't be happening. Wait a second, wait, my bad. So this is gonna be the background image, B and alpha over, and this is gonna be added after this, and it is gonna be coming here as alpha. And just like this, we made it happen, I guess. Let's just see how things are going. So where is my controllers? I don't see my controllers. Where are they? Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. But why I don't see my controllers? Why the heck I don't see my controllers? Why the fuck? Alright. So, that's kind of sad. Oh, I saw it now. Okay. So as you guys can see, the mist is coming with this subject, this soldier. That's what we want. And this is the shortcut key right here. I'm just gonna type it here. And the shortcut key is Alt plus K. As you guys can see, Alt K. All right. So let's go again.
And that's how you could make them move together. Alternatively, like we mentioned earlier, you could just have them on the same layer. Layers move together now. So these.
Yeah, pre-multiplier takmış. Burada transform yapmış en başta, sonra ikinci transform'u da koymuş ve aynı zamanda Alt K ile ikinci kopya transformunu oluşturmuş. Böylece istediği şekilde iki resmi de ya da iki videoyu da oynatabiliyor. Güzel. Nice.
Nodes are a clone.
Nice.
And that's how you could make them.
These are clones.
Move together.
So I'm gonna try something. If I try to actually, let me just turn this off. If I try to move this, what's gonna happen? At this point, I guess. Oh, what's going on? What is going on right now? They're like parallax right now. I'm guessing. They are like parallax. I'm a little scared right now because this is not what we want, right? So when I set this to 0 and 0 and come here, what's gonna happen now? Rotate. Zero this out. And detransform. So these are not actually parented right now. And that's bad. I don't know why is that happening. Maybe because of this. I don't know.
So it's not confusing. And if we double click it and we move it, you'll see that both layers move together now. So these nodes are a clone, and that's how you could make them move together.
So, okay. My brain is stopped. Anyways, I'm gonna continue, right? Okay. So this is the image. That's the next one. And I don't know what to say now, bro. Like, my brain is stopped. My brain stopped. So I have this one. I pre-multiplied it, transformed it, and transformed it again. And I got this shit right here. And these are linked. And the final thing is gonna be added over on top of this. That's probably the way. That is probably the only way. Okay, so let's go here. Oh, okay. So this is now linked, but we need a transform node again. Actually, we don't. Because if we set this to plus or screen or something, multiply. I don't know what did you set it. Anyways, let's just set it over. I want this to be in the background though. So if we want that to be in the background, you gotta put this alpha actually here. here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So let's just close this, double click on it, and now our thing is not perspectively wrong every time I try to move it, and that's cool. That's what I would like to see in this program. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my voice, but yeah, anyways, it's kind of boring at this point. Yeah, let's just finish this part. Pick whip versus transform.
Alternatively, like we mentioned earlier, you could just have them on the same layer, like so. And then we can put
You can just have them in the same layer. Take your brush. What?
You could just have them on the same layer, like so. And then we can put a node after, and then they would move together like this as well. So that's just a different way. If for some reason your node tree needs to be in a different order, you know, maybe there's some effects being applied to the background, but not the foreground, but they move together, for example. So that's just to know.
Alt K is actually great. Alt K.
If you're trying to do a pick whip or a parent, essentially, that is the way you would do it. So the next thing we'll mention is to merge different images that are different size over each other. This is where, again, beginners get tripped up. It's always merge
and
different images that is the way you would do it. So the next thing we'll mention is to merge different images that are different size over each other. This is where, again, beginners get tripped up. It's always
İki tane transform koyarsın, birine transform fit
the
yaparsın.
pre-mult thing. It's always this, and it's always the two different size of image. But once you get past those two, a little bit of confusion versus After Effects, I promise you, there's no other huge hurdle of understanding. It's just those really simple things. So here we have this 1456 by 816, and then we have this thing that was filmed on an iPhone vertically. And so if I want to merge this over the other one,
yeah, I mean, this is on top of it right now.
remember, there's no alpha, so we're going to see the semi-transparent weird result.
Oh my god. He's always adding, bro. Nuke is always adding.
By default. So again, if we hit T, it's going to create an alpha through that transform node, and then it's going to be merged over. But you see that it's not sized to the project size, and After Effects would do the same thing. It would be kind of scaled off of your video. So what we can do is take the transform and just scale it down, and we could bring it in like that. And so that would be a perfect.
How do we crop the video on top, for example? Is there a crop node? Oh, yes. There is. That's cool. So how this thing works? So what is this cropping? I just want the smoke to be cropped. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. X, Y, right. And top. So X is left, Y is like under and top, right is the right side or something. Yeah, let's just delete it. I just wondered, bro.
Perfectly fine way of bringing in an image and making it fit. The other way we could do it, if you wanted it just to automatically fit to this project size.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
1456 would be to put a reformat node.
Oh, the reformat node. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and import some video in here. Actually, why am I searching it? I'm just gonna type MP4. What is this?
Here, kitty, you can has.
Alright, let's just add this one. I don't know where did this come from. But anyways, just add a transform node. and put it in here and scale it down. And I would like to crop it on reset. Crop, don't freaking crop it, bro. Like, oh my god, bro. Don't from the sides, bro. Don't. Are you giving me controls? Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Alright. That's cool. Just gonna crop this like this. And yeah, I think our video is properly cropped it. And the instructor said we gotta use reformat node here. And this will fit in the image. The untransformed node to the image. To format, to box, scale. No, the format. This what's our format? Yeah, this one. So I guess it's about the translate node. So if I try to like made it like this, I don't know if it's gonna. Oh my god. I don't know why this thing is not working, bro. So if I just disable it, okay, make it like this. Oh, that's because of the crop node. Alright. So if I add the crop node right before, what's gonna happen now? So what is gonna happen now? This is too big. Actually not. So let's just open the crop node, restore, and set the endpoints properly. And go to the transform node, scale it down. Actually, what the hell? Yeah. Fit this in. Go to the transform node, scale this thing there and put it in here and reformat it. So what is reformatting it? I don't understand. So let's just see how this thing is gonna work. Okay.
And so reformat node allows you to change the size of a node. And so by default, if you set your project size correctly, if you hit S, which I believe it'll be delivered like this to you automatically, so your project size should be this 1456.
Okay.
If that is set, by default, the node will reformat whatever this thing is.
Oh, okay. So let's try reformat. Oh, okay. But right now, it's kinda, let me just see. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's formatted.
To the project size. So this thing is coming in as 1080 by 1920. It's going to automatically go to the project size. But you see that the way, if you view it, you see that the way it's reformatting it, it's just cropping off the top and the bottom, which maybe that's not what you want. So there's different resize type here. And so you can switch it to height. So to take this vertical video.
Oh, so, okay, let's see. It's resize type with height. Fit, fill, distort, none. So I'm just gonna disable this one and turn off this. Put you there. Just gonna delete you and add the reformat node here and set it to height. So I don't understand right now. 816. What's that?
It'll shrink it down into that rectangle format that we're working in, and
By the way, there's a transform here. Oh my god. Width. Oh, now it's transferring.
The other way we could do it, if you wanted it 6, allows you to change the size of a node. And so by default, if you set your project size correctly, if you hit S, which I believe it'll be delivered like this to you automatically, so your project size should be this 1456. If that is set, by default, the node will reformat whatever this thing is to the project size. So this thing is coming in as 1080 by 1920. It's going to automatically go to...
Yeah, it did. Okay. But this doesn't have any freaking transform. So if I add this, it's gonna add that right there. Or if I add a shuffle node here and set this to the full alpha, it's gonna do the same thing. Yep, that's cool. That is cool. All right. All right. Okay. So what's next?
With project size, but you see that the way, if you view it, you see that the way it's reformatting it, it's just cropping off the top and the
Yeah, it needs to crop, bro.
bottom, which maybe that's not what you want. So there's different resize.
Oh, okay. Let's see them. Height. Okay. Fit. Fill. Fill of width. That's an none. None of the fits. I don't know. The height is cool. So we just go and distort. Distort is kind of cool too. And sorry guys, I'm back, and let's set this to width because I like the width more. It's like it's fully accepting the image.
Type here, and so you can switch it to height. So it'll take this vertical video and it'll shrink it down into that rectangle format that we're working in, and it'll create this weird stretch pixel effect. And the reason it's doing that is because this dotted line is the pixels that are being calculated. So it's only calculating the pixels inside your bounding box. So that's what this is called. It's called a bounding box, these dotted line.
Dotted line. I don't have that dotted line though. I don't have that dotted line. Dot that.
And essentially what you can do is just you press this little button here that says black outside. And it will just get rid of everything out there. The reason it does that is just because the edge, it's not calculating beyond that, and it's just stretching the color because it doesn't know what to do. So it's black outside. And
Okay, guys. Today is enough, I guess. I'm actually a little tired right now, so I'm just gonna end the stream because like this is a long time. This is 31 minutes. Good luck, number. Okay. So yeah. Let's just watch this. Yeah, I'm just gonna put actually delete this one, copy video at the current copy video URL at the current time, paste it, right click and send this to here. Yay, okay. So these are the same categories. These are the same categories, I guess. Like here. Alright. It's these idiot piece of shits, bro. Like they being caught by the police. It's just fun to watch. Yeah. I'm just gonna bro, what? I already watched this guy. I think they uploaded this again, bro. Don't freaking upload this shit again. Anyways, guess we are not watching that one. Yeah, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna decide later. So thank you for watching my stream. Nobody's watching right now, but that's what it is. So, yay! Thank you. Bye bye. All right.